Hut 33 by James Carey.
Archie, I came as soon as I heard. Congratulations.
Thanks, Josh. Some complex maths and some lucky guesses, but I got there in the end.
Apparently it stumped all the boffins in Hut 6.
May one see the message? Oh, hell's teeth. The Germans have used a second code.
No, that's German. That's how they communicate. In Germany.
And they encode their messages as well? That's hardly fair. And they all speak good English.
Of course, they encode their messages. That's why we spend 8 hours a day freezing our knackers off in this metal shack, working with people like Winstanley over there.
Come on, Archie. Winstanley's a terrific member of the team and a mathematical genius.
He's also naked.
Sometimes he forgets to put his clothes on.
Winstanley, you're going blue. Put some clothes on. We can't afford to lose another member of the team. Now, what does this message say?
Don't look at me, I don't speak German.
Nor do I. Roger does, but he's gone.
At the risk of sounding picky, we could really do with someone who speaks German.
Can't you just read it out really loud?
Doesn't really work like that.
Righto, I'll get on that.
I speak German.
Minka, please, don't creep up on us like that.
How did you get in here without opening the door?
When there are enemies all around your country, you'll learn to creep like a killer in the night.
You mean a thief in the night?
I know what I mean.
Right, must be a Polish expression.
Hello, Minka. You're looking nice today.
This is true. What is message in the language of the pig dog?
Here.
From the hand of Heinrich Himmler.
Himmler? This is going to be big.
5 Paare Unterhosen.
The Unterhosen? I think I went on a walking holiday there.
Unterhosen is underpants. Oh, I see. 5 pair of underpants, 1 uniform, Eckstein removed 3 Deutschmarks.
It's his laundry bill. I spent 3 hours on Himmler's dry cleaning.
I think it is practical joke from Hut 6. Very funny.
Funny?
In Poland, we do practical joke. One time I hit man in face with big piece of wood. It was very funny.
Well, they say humour doesn't travel.
Still, it's very naughty of Hut 6 to waste our time.
They're a bunch of stuck-up public school Nancy boys.
They are quite clever, inventing that massive computing machine.
Shut up.
Right, back to work, everyone. Oh, and don't forget, tomorrow night's the first round of the Inter-Hut Bridge Tournament.
There you go, Gordon, a pint of our finest.
Can you charge it to my room?
And a glass of something for a lady?
No, it's just me. Well, until Archie gets here.
You two have got to raise your game. There's a war on. If you can't get your end away now, you might as well forget it.
Mrs. B, I'm doing my best.
Always remember that if it comes to Nookie, the air raid is your friend.
Right. Why?
When your date's clinging to you for dear life, it's the perfect time to give her some tongue.
Mrs. B?
Fine, have it your way. Well, you won't get any your way.
There's this girl I work with called Minka. She's Polish.
You sure you want to get involved with someone like that?
She's so beautiful and mysterious.
So's Wookie old that I wouldn't go in.
I should say something to her, shouldn't I? Do the decent thing.
You military types. Mind you, Bomber Harris wasn't exactly shy. They do say the bomber always gets through.
You slept with Air Marshal Harris?
You see, things happen in air raids. So wait for the next one, sit next to Minka, and bingo.
If you don't mind, I'm not going to delegate my love life to Hermann Goering.
I've had him.
Goering and Harris?
Got stuck in Berlin in the last war, so I made do.
But Goering was the enemy.
Always good to keep your options open.
Ah, there's Archie. Do excuse me.
If I were you, I'd take any advice from Mrs. Best with a big pinch of salt. She's had more men than I've had hot dinners, cold dinners, snacks, drinks.
But at least she's actually, you know, with a...
Well, I wouldn't start with Minka. She looks like the type who devours the meal after mating. Mind you, at least you die happy.
That is true.
Sorry, there's a bloke over there. I'm sure I recognise him.
Is he from one of the huts?
Excuse me, is this seat taken?
No, be my guest. I'm Gordon. This is Archie.
Professor Charles Gardner.
Of St. Sebastian's College, Oxford.
I see my reputation precedes me. You must have read my book, Foreign Phrases and Their de Rigueur Usage. It's very good.
No. We met when I applied to St. Seb's.
Well, I'm admissions tutor. I'm surprised I didn't interview you.
You did.
Turn you down?
Aye.
Ah, yes, I remember you at formal dinner. Yeah, saw how you tried to eat your salmon. Oh, it was like feeding time at the penguin enclosure.
You rejected Archie because of the way he ate fish.
He used a spoon.
And the interview was a joke. It was meant to be about maths, and you got me to read aloud from a book.
I'd never heard such a funny little accent before. And I am Professor of Linguistics, so it was too good a chance to miss. Such vowel mutilation.
You was going to get such a slap.
Oh, and the pluralization of the second person singular. Hilarious. Should have let you in, would have been a hoot.
You carry on like that, I'm going to chin you.
So, where did you study?
I went to Manchester.
Oh, that's in the north, isn't it? Yes, can't say I've ever been there. Got as far as Banbury once, but had to turn back. Just getting a bit rough.
You're in Bletchley now, isn't that north of Banbury?
Well, we all got turfed out of the college by the Air Ministry, who are now strutting about the place, polishing their swagger sticks.
Aye, the brave pilots risking their lives defending the country, which is more than you ever did.
Excuse me, if we're fighting for our civilization, some of us have to provide the civilization. Unlike these pilots who shoot down a few Messerschmitts and suddenly expect to get more sex than Tallulah Bankhead on a battleship. Parading round our quad. I dread to think what they'll do with our Rubens.
I'm sure they'll keep feeding him.
Rubens is a painter. Mainly did overfed, naked, posh birds. Typical Baroque trash you'd expect to find at a bastion of regressive privilege like St. Seb's.
Overfed posh birds. Spoken like a true Philistine. Probably some yob like you that vandalised the one that hangs in the college hall. Drew a moustache and glasses on one of the cherubs.
Well, I couldn't reach St. Peter.
What?
Nothing.
So, are you staying nearby?
Staying here. The landlady said she'd be happy to squeeze me in.
You do look at a type. Male, with a pulse.
Anyway, I must turn in. As Ovid said, time, motion and wine cause sleep. Except, of course, he said it in Latin, but I don't suppose you'd know much about that.
I do know Catullus said, Pedicabo ego vos et irromabo.
What does that mean?
Up yours.
Well, good night, Gordon.
Come the revolution, he'll be first against the war.
Archie, he's only staying here for a while. You don't have to talk to him.
I'll show him.
Last orders at the bar, please.
Excuse me.
Oh, hello, Professor. Nice dressing gown. Is that silk?
Satin. The pyjamas are silk. From Paris.
Oh, Paris. I was there in the 20s. Degas, Monet, Renoir.
Are you an art lover?
You could say that. Now, is everything to your satisfaction with the room?
I can't seem to find the,
Outside, dear.
Oh, this war had better be worth all this.
Ah, good evening, Mrs. Best.
Ooh, that professor's a bit of all right, isn't he?
Yes, well, if you're still serving, I'll have a half bitter, please.
Josh, glad you're here. Something's happened.
What?
I cannot tell you. Top secret directive.
Right, I understand. Hush, hush, is it?
Even more top secret than that. It's hush, hush, hush.
Yikes, 3 hushes? That is secret.
Told you. Early this evening, I received a document cleverly encoded to look like a pub menu.
That's incredible. It looks exactly like the menu here.
Makes you proud, doesn't it? Anyway, I don't need to tell you that it says this pub has been temporarily requisitioned by MI6 and may not be entered without the password until further notice.
Right, leave this to me. This pub is now a secure area.
Hello?
Halt! Who goes there?
None of your business. Look, it's freezing out here. Just let me in, you cretin.
Oh, no. You're not getting around me that easily.
Just open the door, will you?
This is now a safe area. Step away from the door. I have a gun. And I consider you to be dangerous. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Now, come on, Gordon. Right. Minka, if you were a Venn diagram... No. A pie chart. No, that's stupid. Minka, I'm a prime number, better, but for me, you're a factor. Other than myself and one, obviously. So what say we solve this quadratic equation with a date? Although there are two solutions to a quadratic equation.
You ask me on date?
Ah!
I startle you?
Yes, a bit.
You want me to go out with you, no? I see the way you look at me with hunger.
Yes. Although sometimes it is just plain hunger, you know. With the rationing.
And you no want to spend another Valentine's Day alone, so you ask me.
Valentine's Day?
It is February 14th, yes?
Yes.
Okay, we go out, 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And we celebrate the death of St. Valentine.
Great! Death?
And you kept Charles out all night?
Absolutely. Reminds me of the time I had to keep watch at Dunkirk. A colonel asked me to stay behind.
On Dunkirk Beach?
Yes. I was the only one, so it was clearly important.
What happened?
Well, as instructed, I stood there waving my arms in the middle of a cross in the sand in the special red suit, and after a few hours of shelling, I went for a paddle and got swept out to sea and picked up by a frigate. Oh, you should have seen the colonel when I saw him back in Blighty. He was so moved. He actually wept.
Excuse me, is this Hut 33?
Halt! Who goes there?
God, I'm not going through this again. Oh, thanks to some bureaucratic baboon, I've been shot at, forced to sleep in a freezing beer cellar, before being found by the landlady, who insisted on bathing me naked in the tin bath in her kitchen.
Why wouldn't you be naked for a bath?
No, she was naked. I think she likes me.
Don't flatter yourself, she's not picky.
Oh, great, I've got to work with the bastard son of Trotsky. And I've got flu. And it's freezing in here.
Oh, you poor thing. Maybe you better have a rest till you're better. Leave all the hard work to me.
Well, you are working class. The clue's in the title.
Oh, here we go. The exploitation begins.
You think I want to work in this poky shed? This place is probably luxury for someone like you, with its furniture and roof.
Josh, permission to lamp him?
Archie, no.
Hang on. Don't I know you as well? You were at Seb's, weren't you?
That's right. Joshua Fanshawe Marshall.
You rejected me, but you let in him.
Well, fair's fair. Daddy got Professor into the Garrick.
So, where do I sit?
Next to Winstanley.
Is he wearing pyjamas?
Believe me, that's an improvement.
Right, Archie. I'll leave you to show Charles the ropes.
Let's start with making a noose. And we're currently breaking the German Merchant Navy's code.
So I need to think up suitable cribs to run alongside the encrypted text?
You do speak German, don't you?
Well, as Goethe said, die Wörter sind genug gewechselt, lasst mich endlich Taten sehen.
Simple yes would have done.
Yes, or why I, as they say in your part of the world.
They also say, carry on like that, and you are going to get a right kicking.
Marvellous. Oh, I wish I could bottle you.
And I wish I could bottle you.
Okay, Joshua, this is Hut 33 here.
Ah, yes, I lost my bearings again.
Just remember it's the one after Hut 32. But I can see how a grid system of huts with big numbers on them could be confusing.
Absolutely.
Okay, Gordon, get the cards. We need to practice for tonight.
What is happening tonight?
It's Inter-Hut Bridge Tournament. I've just heard we're up against Hut 6.
It's payback time.
Well, there have been developments about the Star Prize. We're getting quite a lot of traffic about Crete. Might be Hitler's next target.
Oh, no. That's awful.
It's going to be nasty. Taking an island always means heavy casualties on both sides.
No, I've got a villa there.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Archie, about this bridge tournament, I'm now busy tonight.
Busy with what?
Don't any of you realise what today is?
Anniversary of Karl Marx's death.
Isn't it the Feast of St. Quentin's?
Have I forgotten my own birthday again?
It's Valentine's Day.
Oh.
And I've got a date with Minka, and I won't change it. I can't change it.
Why not?
Because I'm really quite scared of her.
Oh, what rot! Who's in charge round here?
Minka.
She is rather forceful, isn't she?
Oh, dear. All scared of a little lady, are we?
Well, I'm sure someone of your age and experience could talk her round.
Probably. An arm round the shoulder can achieve an awful lot in this situation.
Well, there she is, outside.
Minka!
An arm round her shoulder? Are you trying to get him killed?
Aye.
Minka!
Who are you?
Professor Charles Gardner. I'm the new bug in Hut 33. About this date with Gordon tonight.
You put your arm on shoulder.
Oh, just being friendly.
You I kill with one hand. My left hand. The girly hand.
I'm sorry?
It's quite a grip for a lady. Or a man, come to that.
We've looked everywhere.
So he must be in the coal shed.
No, Minka, I've eaten 2 lumps, I swear. And I'll never... Oh, it's you. Oh, well done. Just familiarizing myself with the site. Yes, I see. This is where they keep the fuel. Good, good.
At least you put Minka in her place, eh, Charlie boy?
Well, we had a little tete-a-tete, and I decided it best that the dates go ahead. And do not ever call me Charlie boy again.
Would you prefer Cole Porter?
Shut up and just help me relocate my shoulder, would you?
Look, the important thing is the bridge match. Gordon's busy, so... Charles, do you play?
Hang on, there's no way I'm playing bridge with him. I'd rather play with Rudolph Hess.
Archie, please play with Charles.
We have to win this tournament for the sake of Hut morale. My father always said, war is about morale.
Oh, yes, of course, yeah. That's why he sent a telegram to every Dunkirk survivor which read, "Welcome home, Nancy boy."
That's Peter. Anyway, unless you can teach me to play bridge in the next 8 hours, you don't have much choice.
Get the cards, Josh. It's going to be a long day. Okay, so we deal out all the cards.
Right. Now, hang on. If all the cards are out, what pile do we take from?
No, that's rummy. This is bridge. The idea of the game is to play your cards one at a time.
Of course. And then you shout, snap.
No, that's snap.
Right.
Now, you sort your cards out into suits.
And then I give you 2 shillings.
No, that's... What game is that?
Well, we played it at Sandhurst. It's called Clean Out Josh. I never fully got the hang of it, but they were more than happy to let me play. And we played Today's Payday and Shirt Off Your Back. No, where were we? I give you 2 shillings.
No. You sort your cards out into suits.
OK, so is it letters and then numbers, or the other way round?
Letters?
Well, this one's A, then there's a J, a K, a Q... What letters have you got?
No, right. They're called the court cards. They're like the royal families.
Oh, now, happy families I can play. Hang on, look at this fellow. He's got a second head where his legs should be. I suppose that's the danger of interbreeding in royal families.
OK, forget the families.
Fine. What now?
You give me 2 shillings.
Ooh, righto.
Good evening, Mrs. Best.
Oh, shall I run you another hot bath?
No, thank you. I'm sure a bottle of your finest wine will suffice.
Oh, Gordon, all dolled up for your date with Minka.
Yes. How do I look?
Like a Christian in the Colosseum wearing a meat toga.
Charles.
Gordon, have you ever been on a date before?
No, well, no. I once took my sister to the movies, but that's not the same, is it?
Only in Somerset.
Now, it's a clear night, so if you're lucky, there'll be an air raid.
I don't want to take advantage of her. You know, it's a first date, so I just want to soften her up a bit.
Well, use a blowtorch.
Tell you what always works on me.
A gin and tonic?
OK, bad example. But I do know girls like being told about the stars and their eyes.
Stars, eyes, right.
But most of all, be yourself.
Be yourself. You mean myself? You mean me? Oh, dear.
Oh, this infernal cold.
Are you going to watch the bridge later?
What, and give everyone else these germs? Probably.
Do you play bridge?
What, does Hitler like marching bands? Yes, Gordon, I am very good at bridge. Intervarsity bridge champion 3 years running. Still, I'm sure Josh has got the hang of the rules by now.
So, Josh, Are we clear on the bidding?
They bid 1 heart, I bid 1 curly.
No. No, they're called clubs. And if they go 1 heart or 1 spade, the only one left is no trumps. Trumps. Give me strength.
Hello, Gordon.
All ready for the big grudge match?
We're a winning combination. He's got the brains, I've got the cards.
Go inside, see we're nearly ready.
Righto.
Archie, can't you see how stubborn you're being?
No,
But if you played with Charles, you'd thrash Hut 6.
I've got my principles.
But Josh is the son of an aristocratic general.
Yes, but if we win, it'll obviously be my doing because everyone knows Josh is thicker than a pair of Polish thermal pants. Anyway, if I were you, I'd be more worried about my date with the she-wolf of Warsaw.
It's okay. I've got loads of material about the stars. They're created through an equilibrium between the compressional force of gravity and the outward pressure of radiation from...
Gordon, are you seriously going to tell Minka all this?
Mrs. B said talk about the stars and her eyes.
Let me guess. Eyes are globular organs in her head through which people and vertebrate animals see.
Focusing images onto a retina, which is processed by the brain. In the case of invertebrates, corresponding visual or light-detecting organs
Gordon, I don't think that's what Mrs. B meant.
What? You're joking?
Cheer up. I heard a story of some complete idiot in Hut 7 who tried to express his love for a girl in the form of a simultaneous equation. What was that?
Nothing. So, how am I meant to talk about the stars?
Talk about the constellations, Orion, Andromeda, and all that classical crap they made you learn at your prep school. Here she comes.
She must be freezing in that dress.
What there is of it. You're in for a good night.
Hello, Minka. You're looking like I've never seen you before.
This dress was my mother's.
Really?
She died in this dress.
Did she? Of hypothermia, I'd imagine. Aren't you cold?
This is not cold. Cold is swimming the Baltic from Poland to Sweden in December. When ice have frozen over, then you are cold.
Yes, of course. Your eyes. Your eyes are like the stars in the heavens.
Stars?
Absolutely. See that star there? That's Andromeda, who was rescued by Perseus. And that's the great hunter Orion, who was turned into stars when he died.
You think ancient gods put them in the sky? What are you, crazy?
I don't think that, no. As far as I'm concerned, they were created through an equilibrium between the compressional force of gravity and the outward pressure of radiation from the internal thermonuclear fusion reaction. But I'm just a mathematician. What would I know?
Don't stop.
You all right? You look a little flushed.
Tell me more.
Oh, the stars are gaseous spheres consisting primarily of hydrogen and helium.
Yes.
And shooting stars, like that one, aren't actually stars. They're meteors. Although there are quite a lot of them tonight, coming quite close.
Take me.
Take you where?
Take me.
Oh, right. Oh.
1 spade.
Yes, 1 spade.
No, you can't bid 1 spade because he just did.
OK, 1 curly.
You have to bid 2 of something, unless it's 1 no trumps. Don't.
Excuse me, you're not allowed to speak.
Well, shut up then.
OK, 2 hearts.
2 spades.
3 hearts.
No bid.
What now?
This is where your natural abilities come into their own. You're dummy.
Excellent.
So, let's see your cards now. Right. Your bid of 2 hearts. Any other bid would have been better. The only way you could have played that hand worse would have been to set it on fire.
No talking.
What do you want?
I just came for a laugh, and having seen your hand, it's worked.
You can make sure these 2 aren't cheating.
Hey, I'm going to win this fair and square. Jack of clubs and that trick's mine. Now, let's try 2 of diamonds.
Now, what's going on? Is he passing you messages?
Of course he isn't.
He's been sneezing before you played each card. It's very suspicious.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. The 2 of diamonds was the obvious card to play. It's predictable, but what do you expect from a tedious, chippy Marxist?
Hey,
Well, personally, I'd have played the 9 of clubs.
Now that is definitely cheating.
I'm playing the 2 of diamonds.
Archie, when do I give everyone 2 shillings?
Bribery! Stewards!
We're not cheating. Club's honour.
That went all over me, you idiot!
Well, I'm ill. I can't help that.
Come here, I'm going to give you
Yeah, you're not punching a fellow at St. Sebastian's College, Oxford, while I just stand here. You hold him, I'll punch him.
Archie.
Hot 33 disqualified.
Huh, looks like we've taken you to the cleaners again.
Right, that's it. Now, get off! On the end! Good going, Charlie. I had Hut 6 just where I wanted them in that point of the match.
Oh, you were playing bridge. I thought you were just taking part in a circus act and throwing cards at a chimp.
At least I didn't sneeze all over everyone.
I'm sorry, but I had to lock you out of the pub because of strict orders.
Shut it.
But you decoded the menu for me. Oh, were you kidding?
Of course I was fibbing, inbred half-wit.
Archie, I am going to kill you.
Get in there.
It's all right, I'm going quietly.
Gordon.
Look, this is meant to be solitary confinement. From the Latin solus, meaning alone, ignorami.
Gordon, what are you doing here?
Minka got into a fight in the air raid shelter. Said Turing was looking at her in a funny way. I tried to point out that Turing didn't look at women in any way. But she insisted I defend her honour and fight him. There was a scuffle.
You stuck it to Turing. Nice one.
Not really, but where Minka was hiding that dagger, I'll never know. So I punched a military policeman so I could be put in here for my own safety.
Well, this is jolly. All we need now is Winstanley.
Mrs. Best.
Hello, boys. Hello, Charles. Heard about the rumpus and thought you'd need cheering up. So I've ordered a conjugal visit.
But I haven't seen my wife in 15 years.
Not with her.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't
We get a separate cell. Unless you'd rather spend the next 24 hours with Archie.
Coming, my darling wife.
So we lost the bridge.
Well, it's the Interhut Shove Halfpenny next month, so let's start training early.
I agree. You give me 2 shillings.
Oh, righto.
Hut 33 starred Robert Bathurst, Tom Goodman-Hill, Olivia Colman, Fergus Craig, Lil Ruffley, Alex McQueen and Stephen Kinman. It was written by James Carey. The script editor was Paul Mayhew Archer and the producer was Adam Bromley.
Hut 33 by James Carey.
Hut 33, pay attention. We need a volunteer to go to Baghdad.
Baghdad, Iraq.
No, Baghdad, West Sussex.
It's a wonderful city. I've spent some time in the Middle East.
Did you know?
Yeah, you should try travelling, Archie. And I don't mean a road trip in a borrowed van around Durham, South Shields and Whitley Bay.
Well, we haven't all had the opportunity. And for your information, I also went to Chester Street.
That's a shame. You should try the Middle East, the cradle of civilization. As a professor of linguistics...
Oh, here we go.
I had to go and see where they invented the written language.
Wow.
And one day, this concept of writing will arrive in Newcastle.
Right, you were going to get a slap.
And you've still got lots to come, you know, grammar, syntax, pronouns.
Can we please concentrate on the matter in hand? We need a volunteer to go to Baghdad to help prevent a fascist coup. The natives are restless.
Oh, wonder why that might be. Oh, yes, it's the whole turning up uninvited in someone's country armed to the teeth and expecting them to carry your luggage, fix your drink and give you all the oil.
Well, seems fair to me. Anyway, finders keepers.
They found it.
But we Bagsied it.
Oh, well. Put it that way, shame on the League of Nations for not recognising Hitler's perfectly legitimate Bagsying of Poland.
Archie, you have to realise that Britain is a superpower engaged in a war with fascists. We can't do that on chip fat.
Tell that to Minka.
Minka, hear you.
Yeah? How do you do that?
When evil fascist pig dogs invade your country, you will learn to move in silence, like a rattlesnake, without rattle, and with gun.
Hello, Minka. You look nice.
Correct.
Chaps, we have to get on. Who's going to volunteer for Baghdad?
Put me down, Joshua.
You've heard the man. Charles wants to be put down.
Gordon, would you like a chance to see the world?
Yes, Gordon. Travel around the world and be a man.
I'm under 18, so I need a note from my mum.
What about Winstanley?
Well, I think Winstanley's propensity for public nudity would be a problem in the Middle East. He'd end up sunburnt and in prison.
Except he has taken to wearing a toga.
Oh, I don't think that'll help, especially the way he wears it. All right, Winstanley. Just madder than Caligula.
Well, that's settled then. Charles, it is.
Yeah. What about me?
Oh, Archie, you'd be right at home in Baghdad. They've got cholera too.
That recent outbreak in Baika was an isolated incident.
How can you go there if you're completely opposed to empire?
I am, but I could pull down the system from within.
Well, be some kind of Archie of Arabia.
No. I'll just patiently explain the Marxist theory of capital and the alienation of labour.
Yes, well, 1 hour of that and the doomed uprising will seem like a nice diversion.
What will it be then? Victory ale or a pint of de Havilland's finest?
De Havilland make aeroplanes, Mrs. B.
So,
Forgive me if I don't try the beer, which I suspect is based on aviation fuel.
it's very watered down.
Well, it cannot be any worse than that Victory Ale, which you obviously blended with vinegar to give it flavour.
I don't know what you mean.
In my last pint, I found a pickled onion.
A drink and a bar snack in one. What more do you want?
Some proper beer. Do you have any idea how much I have to drink to even get the slightest bit sloshed?
I can't help that. Pint of de Havilland coming up. And look, it comes with a free navigational chart.
Here's Gordon. Pint of Victory Ale. Hold the onions.
Oh, thanks, Archie.
Sorry, he can't drink. Little bird told me he's not 18.
Oh, come on, Mrs. B. Can I at least buy Minka a drink?
Rules is rules.
How's she ever going to take me seriously and think of me as a man?
Try not wearing those shorts.
Mum won't give me long trousers till I'm 18.
If you ask me, I don't think you've got much of a chance winning it.
Why not?
I've heard her say she'll only go with a bloke who's killed at least twice.
What about if I apply for the posting to Baghdad?
What's happening in Baghdad?
I don't know, but it may be that the Iraqis are a little peeved that the Allies' policy of self-determination has a secret clause in it that says you don't get your country back if you're an Arab.
Well, Archie, someone has to go to Baghdad to stop a fascist coup.
Why don't you apply, Archie? Then you'd see the world.
I've put in for it, but Charles is a shoo-in. He's got all the lingo.
Charles? Off to Baghdad? He's not getting away from me that easily. Charles?
Mrs. Bess, what can I do for you?
Actually, you can...
Apart from that. That's not on the table.
Could be on a table.
Look, did you call me over for a reason or just to spout a series of musical vulgarities?
What's this about you going to Baghdad?
Well, I am the obvious choice, as I speak Arabic, Assyrian, Farsi, Hebrew, a smattering of Turkish. I could get by in Armenia. I could probably resolve a basic property dispute in Kurdistan.
It's still not fair. Why should you get to go when I haven't had the chance to go anywhere in this war?
I see. So you think you should be chosen because you can't speak a word of the locals' language and have never left England?
I've been to Scotland.
It is true. He overslept on the train and woke up in Glasgow.
Shut up.
Come in! Die!
Minka, no! Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to knock 4 times.
Then you bring it on yourself. In resistance, we learn to knock. 4 knock, friend. 5 knock, I have German with me who has Luger pressed into my back. 3 knock, could be anyone, so you kill them just to be safe.
I'll bear that in mind. Now, sorry, can I have my arm back, please?
Is it okay?
Oh, I don't think it's broken.
That is bad. I'm losing my touch. You want drink?
Don't mind if I do.
I make liquor. Old Polish recipe.
No, don't tell me. Potatoes and apricots.
Yes, and diesel.
The magic ingredient.
You want?
Oh, I'll pass, thank you. I've always been rather attached to the roof of my mouth.
Okay.
Anyway, I was just wondering if you'd seen Joshua. I've got a little present for him.
What is it?
Oh, just some rather fine cigars. Got a box sent up from my college. Could secure my ticket to Baghdad.
Baghdad? You crazy? No alcohol.
Yes, but they have sunshine, culture, and a certain someone I met on my last trip.
Ah, you have lady you make the, how you say, panky-hanky.
Well, there was one who neglected to tell me that she was the emir of Makian Lilia's favourite wife.
You know it about German invasion. Maybe city get bombed.
Well, surely not even the Nazis would be barbaric enough to bomb an ancient city like Baghdad.
Come in, friend.
Hello, Minka. Oh, Charles, what are you doing here?
He have cigars for Joshua. I think in English is called bribe.
And in Polish there is a word for discretion?
Typical. Even when you're winning, you have to cheat.
Nothing is certain when the decisions are up to 3rd Lieutenant Joshua Fanshawe Marshall, a man with the mental faculties of a shaved chimp.
Granted, at Sandhurst, his desk got better marks than he did.
Exactly.
Charles, do you know anything about this case of Scotch that's just arrived?
Oh, goodness me, Josh. I couldn't manage all this rare 40-year-old single malt by myself. Would you like a few bottles?
Well, if you're sure they won't keep.
He's cheating, Minka. What can I do to even things up?
That is easy.
Without using a knife.
Oh. Well, he try bribery, you try blackmail.
You mean find a skeleton in his cupboard?
Skeleton? Cupboard? You been looking around my room?
No. And I'd like to make it quite clear I would never, ever do that.
Hello, good lady. A pint of your finest ale, please. And I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to voting in a general election, as I'm at least 21 years of age. Which is over 18, by the way.
Nice try, Gordon.
Oh, how did you know it was me? This false moustache is very convincing.
Yes, but you're still wearing shorts.
Schoolboy error.
Pint of victory ale, Mrs. B.
I thought you only drank the hard stuff.
It's not for me, it's for Joshua.
What are you doing? Shut up.
Oi, you spiking his drink? I want corkage.
Just giving his ale a bit of welly. I need some dirt on him. Thing is, everyone already knows he drove an entire tank regiment into the sea, so I need some even bigger stupid secret.
Everyone's got big secrets. You should have heard what Edward VIII said in his sleep.
What?
Oh, nothing.
Well, line him up, Mrs. B. I need to get Joshua properly trolleyed to get some decent dirt I can use.
Quick, here he comes.
Joshua, here's your pint.
Oh, jolly decent of you, Archie. Cheers.
Joshua, I feel I've got a lot to learn from you about military matters.
Well, my main combat experience was the attack on France, which, as you know, was a complete surprise. I was on a walking holiday in the Ardennes.
Is that a fact?
Oh, it was terrible. A German tank rode roughshod all over my picnic. Have you ever tried to pick a ham sandwich out of the tread of a panzer?
Can't say I ever have, but sorry, just to clarify, at the exact place where the Germans invaded, you were sitting on a blanket eating your lunch.
Strictly speaking, it was Elevenses.
So, what did you do? Call your dad? British Embassy?
Well, first of all, I demanded an apology from the tank.
Of course you
Well,
did.
I said that was the kind of behaviour that will give Germany a bad name.
That and invading Poland, Denmark, Norway...
Anyway, the tank commander got out and we had a sort of tete-a-tete over some mangled sandwiches. I have to say, his English was very good. But then the funniest thing happened.
France fell to the Germans?
No, the chap drove off and left an attaché case filled with papers and maps. One of them said, Achtung, Geheimer Kriegsplan. Anyway, another tank was along, several in fact, dozens, so I handed them over and thought nothing more about it.
You definitely did the right thing. Handing back the secret German battle plans.
Well, exactly. Anyway, cheers.
Unbelievable. And you haven't even drunk a drop.
Bottoms up.
Joshua, you wanted to see me?
Yes, I wanted to talk to you about this Baghdad posting.
Yes, I hope you can see that I'm the right man for the job. And, sorry, changing the subject completely, would you like some more of those cigars?
Oh, rather. Splendid things.
Well, it might be tricky for me to get you more unless I know whether I'll be here or in Iraq.
Ah, right.
You get my meaning?
No.
Joshua, haven't you ever heard of bribery?
Yes. What, you mean the cigars were a bribe?
Yes.
And the scotch?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Well, if it gets out that I sent you to Mac and Lilia because I was receiving...
Sorry? So, where did you say?
Mac and Lilia. It's where the listening post is. It's right next to Baghdad on the map.
They're miles apart.
No. It's less than an inch.
Joshua, do you have any idea about scale or how to read a map?
Well, of course I do.
So speaks the man who drove an entire tank regiment into the sea.
The colours on the map were very misleading. I honestly thought the blue meant sky.
And it's an easy mistake to make.
So, Charles's interview is in full flow?
I'm not worried. He's got my blackmail note about a certain embarrassing incident in the Battle of France.
Oh, yes. Brave tank commander challenges ocean.
No, everyone knows about that. Made the national press.
Archie, I need to have a serious talk with you.
Oh, so you got me note then?
I did, and firstly, can I say I'm flattered.
What?
But in handing back that German officer's briefcase, I did what any other British officer would have done. I'd feel very awkward if the press made a big fuss about it.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, pack your bags. You're going to Iraq. Charles persuaded me.
Charles? You did it?
Uh-huh.
He said you should be the one to go to Mac and Lilia.
But, hang on. I thought it was Baghdad.
Well, it's only 3 days from Baghdad. By camel.
And Charles has very kindly offered to give you some Arabic lessons.
Yes. Waf el Jamal Anahasas Bega Tayan.
What does that mean?
Stop the camel, I need to be sick. So, Archie, you ready for your first Arabic lesson?
Aye.
Good.
What's got into you?
Oh, nothing's got into me. Nothing at all. And nothing's going to get into me, including bullets, curved swords, or typhoid.
What?
You, however, may not be so lucky going to Makan Lilia.
Look, what is this Makan Lilia place?
Ah, well, it's known to the locals as the Valley of 1,000 Deaths.
Is that what it means?
No. Its full name is Makan Lilia's Etam, which means place of utter despair. You'll see why when you get there. No drink, no women, no scenery. Well, they had a tree once, but they cut it down after it was touched by an infidel. Now, repeat after me. Arguk ta takloni wi hakun abdak el mutia.
What does that mean?
It means, please don't kill me. Instead, let me be your worthless slave.
You're loving this, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Ah, how's the crash course?
We're just coming to the crash part.
Patience, Archie. I was just coming on to phrases to use at the doctor's, such as, the heat is making me hallucinate, and I think I have cholera.
Oh, splendid.
Give it a rest, will you?
The thing is, the Nazis are on the move, and we're very worried about a fascist coup. So we need another codebreaker to go with Archie.
Oh, what a wonderful opportunity for Gordon.
Well, I was thinking of asking you, Charles, despite your earlier indiscretion.
Oh, I won't hear of it. No, Gordon is the perfect choice. It'll make him a man.
Oh, right. Oh, well, I'll let him know. I thought we might have a send-off in the pub tonight. I remember how many people turned out to see me leave the regiment. Oh.
All right then, everyone. I'd like to propose a toast to our brave boys going to Iraq. Archie and Gordon.
We're going to have such a good time.
Bon voyage, or as they say in Makan Lilia, may you not be killed by scorpions in your tent. And if you are, may it be swift and painless. God is great. Cheers.
Cheers!
Charles, thanks for this chance to go abroad.
Oh, don't mention it. Today you become a man. And I've got a present for you.
Some trousers. That's so kind.
Well, we can't have you wearing shorts out there, not with the sunburn, the sandflies, and a particularly vicious hookworm that goes through the shin.
What?
It's not fatal. It just gives you something the locals call Night of the Flash Floods.
Oh, well, thanks for the trousers, then. I must show Minka.
Minka here. So, Gordon, you go to Iraq.
Someone has to.
And you fight war, stop fascist coup,
Well, I'll see what I can do.
and Mrs. Best give you beer to drink.
It's just victory ale. It's pretty weak.
Now you a man, you need something strong. Drink my special brew. Says Loneybeak. You try.
Oh, nice hip flask.
They'd never find it there.
Drink.
Do I sip it or gulp it?
Whatever.
My Polish is rusty, but what does Zielony Beak mean?
Crazy bull.
I can't see!
Oh, that is normal. You'll be okay in an hour or so.
And I can't feel my legs!
Just walk around. Yeah, mind the table.
Ow! And why does my throat burn so much?
What happened to the last real man who drank this stuff?
This exact recipe, Radek, in Krakow last year, he died.
Died?
He's okay. I was going to kill him anyway. He was collaborator, Pig Dog.
Well, Gordon, I hope that set your mind at rest.
Last orders at the bar.
Not the send-off party I'd hoped for.
That moonshine's deadly.
How is Gordon?
Broken leg.
Well, surely not just from falling over.
No, he passed out in the street and I reversed over him.
Joshua.
Well, it's very hard to see in a blackout. So we'll need someone else to go to Iraq.
So now who's going? Oh, please, don't tell me I've got to sit on a boat for 3 weeks.
Charles, you can go after all.
What? No, I can't.
This is no time for false modesty. You really are the man for the job. The Colonel agrees. Especially after I passed him one of those bottles of whiskey.
No, please, no.
Is there a problem?
Charles cannot go. He'll never survive the voyage.
Why not?
I'll have chucked him overboard before we reach Gibraltar.
Ah, very good. Male bonding's part of army life. The chaps in the regiment threw me off the boat 3 times on the way back from Dunkirk.
Really?
So, pack your bags. It's off to Iraq with the pair of you.
Morning, Mrs. B.
Gordon, you poor thing.
Serves you right.
I got run over by a jeep.
In those new trousers. And thanks to you, I've got to go to Makan Lilia.
But the Middle East is so romantic. I travelled round it just after the fall of the Turkish Empire. You just can't beat a lazy afternoon on an Ottoman.
Well, on my last visit, I had a romance with a woman who turned out to be the favourite wife of a local sheikh. I had to flee for my life.
It's all water under the bridge.
Except there is no water and he blew up the bridge.
What do you mean?
Well, ever since he's been mailing my college a series of elegant but graphic poems about what he'll do to me if I should return. And yesterday he was good enough to send me a diagram.
Oh, that's very anatomically correct.
I don't get it. It's a human body, but what are all those lines?
They are the 1,000 cuts by which he proposes to lacerate me to death.
This is ridiculous.
I know. What a barbarian.
No, cuts 71 to 75 are completely pointless because after cuts 12, 13 and 14, that bit of flesh will have just fallen off.
Yes, thank you.
So he'll just be chopping up dead meat.
I said thank you, Gordon.
It's effectively butchering.
Yes, all right, thank you.
Guys, can you help me decipher this message? My vision's still a bit shaky after last night.
Not now, Gordon. Charles, I need another Arabic lesson.
But I'm coming with you.
I know, but I need to know the Arabic, for I've never seen this man before in my life.
You do realise that when the Emir kills me, you'll be next.
Me? Why?
For being an imperialist infidel.
But I'm not.
Well, except I'll tell him you are.
Now, why would you do that?
Oh, simple. I can't stand you. So, I hope you've written a will.
Gordon, if anything should happen to me, I'll leave you my slide rule.
Thanks.
Right, that's me done.
Gordon, can you make sure my sister gets my pocket watch and diary? And you can have my pistol.
Pistol?
What have you got a gun for? If the Germans make it this far, you think you can stop them?
What makes you think it's for the Germans?
You're going to shoot Josh?
Good idea, but it wouldn't achieve anything. They'd just probably replace him with some other idiot, Johnny.
Aye. Funny how the army has ways of replacing people when they get shot. It's almost like it was designed with that in mind.
It's not Joshua's fault you're going to Iraq.
Good point. It's yours. I should shoot you.
What? I'm already crippled.
Only temporarily. For long enough so that you can't go.
I'm just glad I've got my sight back. I couldn't see for ages.
Oh, perfect, Archie. We're saved. We just need to get some of that special brew off Minka. A few swigs and we'll be completely unfit for the medical.
You want Minka's charging bull?
Minka, will you please stop doing that?
You need to be ready for surprise attack in desert.
Well, we won't have to if we can have some of that moonshine.
You are too late. I finish.
You finished all that? And you still have vision?
It comes and goes.
Can you make some more?
It takes 2 weeks.
We don't have 2 weeks. And do you know what the Emir is going to do to me when I get out there?
No.
This.
It's a death of 1,000 cuts.
Wow.
Think about it. It would take hours, possibly days, to inflict all these lacerations.
Gordon, please. Minka, are you taking notes?
I learned from the master. It's amazing.
Well, I'm glad that my impending pain will teach you so much. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be in the coal shed. I may be some time.
Did he just put a gun in his pocket?
No, he was just pleased to see me. I make English joke.
Charles? Charles?
Archie?
Oh, thought you killed yourself.
I can't. I'm a Catholic. You'd go straight to hell for that.
You committing suicide isn't a sin. It's a service to the world. It's basic manners.
Excuse me. I am the one with the gun.
Oh, I get what you're doing. Well, back home, we fight with proper weapons. Broken bottles, fists, teeth. Now fight like a man.
Archie, what on earth do you think I'm planning to do?
You're going to kill me. You know you're going to die in Macanlelia, so you're going to get some sick upper-class satisfaction out of shooting a member of the working class.
No, that's a thought.
Just tell us, what's going on?
I'm going to shoot myself in the foot.
By doing what?
No, I'm literally going to shoot myself in the foot. And you're very welcome to do the same.
I'd happily shoot you in the foot.
I meant to shoot your own foot.
Oh. What makes you so sure I don't want to go?
What, you really think you can cope living in a desolate wasteland? Mind you, you have been to Gateshead.
Exactly. I'll manage.
In a tiny listening station, with just sand for miles around, 100 degrees at night, barely any water, no alcohol.
After you with a gun.
I knew it.
Never been further east than Margate. I'll get burnt to a crisp in that sun, and I'll never cope without a pompous know-it-all linguist.
Oh, Archie, it's big of you to say that.
Well, you're pointing a gun at me.
Yes. Sorry. Right, let's get this over with. I'll go first. Now, how far away should I be, do you think?
No, looks about right.
Right. No, I can't do it.
Oh, you big Nancy.
No, you'll have to, Archie. I want you to shoot me.
Oh, Charles, that's the nicest thing you've ever said.
Just in the foot.
Well, give me the gun then.
Yeah. Here. Hold it like that and pull there.
I think I know how to use a gun.
Well, shoot me then.
Okay, 1, 2, and...
Oh, you had the safety catch on.
All right. Keep your foot on. Okay, catch off. On 3. 1, 2.
No, wait. Are you going to go on 3? Or was it 1, 2, 3, and then?
I don't know. I'll see how I feel.
What about how I feel? I'm the one being shot.
It's like pulling a tooth. You know, it's better not to expect it. Like, now!
Ah! You missed! You moron, give me that.
Get off.
Let me have a go.
No.
No, let me shoot you.
What is happening? I hear shots.
Minka, we could use your help.
You need to shoot us.
Fine, kneel on the ground.
Minka, where did you get that gun from?
I keep it by hip flask.
How's your vision at the minute?
Still a little hazy.
Look, I'm rapidly going off this plan.
You don't want me to kill you?
No, we just want flesh wounds. But on second thoughts, maybe you could just break me arm.
Good idea. I need practice.
Well, go on.
Not now. You expecting me. I do it later. I surprise you. Clean break, snappy snap.
Thanks.
Count me in.
Okay, see you later. Well, you won't see me. You will only feel pain.
I've got some more cribs if anyone wants some.
Thanks. Put them down there.
Could you pass me one?
Suspense is killing me.
Look, just forget about Minka. It's just business as normal.
Ah, there you are. Been looking all over for you.
So when do we sail?
You don't. You're not going at all. There's just been a fascist coup in Iraq.
Oh, damn and blast those fascists.
Apparently, the Iraqis would rather be run by a bunch of despotic lunatics than the Allies. Hang on, what's Minka doing with my cricket bat?
Attack!
Minka, no!
Oh, Minka! Oh, we don't...
What's going on? Oh, look, it's more horseplay. At Sandhurst, the whole hockey team set about me with their sticks. Happy days.
Hut 33 starred Robert Bathurst, Tom Goodman-Hill, Olivia Colman, Fergus Craig, Lil Ruffley and Alex McQueen. It was written by James Carey, the script editor was Paul Mayhew Archer and the producer was Adam Bromley.
Hut 33 by James Carey.
Morning,
Morning,
Mrs.
Mrs.
B.
B.
Morning. Sleep well?
I had a go, but there was a fair old racket in here last night.
Yep. An armoured regiment stopped by and various parts needed to be oiled.
I think I get the idea.
Just a few nighttime manoeuvres.
Can we not discuss this over breakfast?
Well, I didn't hear a thing. My slumber was so deep I was accompanied by Hypnos himself.
So, you slept with a man?
Archie, please. I know you're ignorant of the classics, but surely you know that Hypnos was the Greek god of sleep and Morpheus the god of dreams.
So you slept with two men?
Don't knock it till you tried it.
Morning all.
Morning, Gordon. Sleep well?
No, my bed's damp.
You sure you didn't...
It wasn't me. I haven't wet the bed since... It doesn't matter. I think the rain's getting in.
Drips into my room too, but I'm used to it. Some of us were toughened up at school.
Oh, how did you cope, spending all those hours telling your butler what to do?
Actually, they were called house stewards.
That's a hard life. No wonder the Germans are winning this war. I'm going to the hut. Oh, it looks like there should be some regular pattern here, but I just cannot find one.
Me neither. Maybe the wheel order on the Enigma really is random.
I'm stuck too. Can't seem to get 4 across.
Charlie, will you put the crossword down? We're meant to be working on German army codes. If you remember, there is this little thing called a war. Some of us are actually trying to win it.
Yes, but we're not having much luck, are we? We're on a very sticky wicket, and I think we should just wait for the Germans to declare.
Well, if I may take your cricketing analogy, the Germans have scored 2,000 runs, occupied Lords, and are currently bowling hand grenades.
Charles, be fair. We need all the help we can get. Winstanley's working flat out.
Yes, but he'd probably work faster if he wasn't wearing a suit of armour.
Morning, Winstanley.
Yeah, I said that would happen if you let him see Henry V.
Now, come on, Charles. Concentrate. The Enigma machine has 5 rotors, and every day they pick 3 to encode the messages.
Archie, this is maths. I'm a linguist. It would be like me telling you about Plutarch and Perseus.
Look, I don't want to hear any more about your Greek boyfriends.
Hut 33, your attention, please.
Morning, Josh.
You may think so, but I have some very worrying news from London. I went to the cinema and saw 2 newsreels. The first about a potential German invasion.
That is worrying.
And the second film showed how those vile Nazis have created a whole new species of winged monkey.
Yes. Now, was the second newsreel by any chance called The Wizard of Oz?
That's right.
Josh, you must understand it was a work of fiction.
Oh, I realise that. It was a public information film. But it's good to know if the Germans do invade, we can stop them with a well-aimed bucket of water.
What on earth were you doing in London?
Security briefing. So, remember, careless talk costs lives. From now on, you never take papers out of the hut, and you never discuss your work with anyone outside the hut. Or with people inside the hut. When you're outside the hut or inside the hut.
So, are we on silence for the rest of the war?
All I mean is, when this new man arrives, you only tell him what he needs to know to do the job.
New man?
Well, didn't I not mention that? Oh, some chap called Nancy.
Nancy. I think that might be a girl.
No, I asked for a code breaker. I hardly think they'd have sent us a girl.
Women do have brains.
Yes, but full of thoughts about flowers, dresses, children.
You don't know any women, do you?
Well, I know Minka, although I'm not 100% sure she's a woman.
I'm all woman.
Minka, please stop creeping up on us like that.
I'm sorry, I move very quietly. As quiet as a dead Nazi, lying dead in the snow. Dead.
That's a very powerful simile, Minka.
Hello, Minka. You're looking lovely today.
I know. But tell me, there is another woman coming to Hut 33. You think I need help? You question my ability?
No. It's not a woman. They're not cut out for code breaking. They're easily muddled.
You thought the Nazis had flying monkeys.
That's different. They do.
OK, team. This wheel order conundrum. I've got some theories, but nothing concrete.
I hope this new girl can help.
Now, remember, we don't know if we can trust her, so we don't mention wheel orders, stacker boards or Banburys. OK, everyone?
Well, I hope she's pretty. We could do with a nice face round here.
Charles, we've already got Minka. She's got a certain something.
Aye, a knife.
I'm powerless when I'm near her.
That'll be the knife again.
Archie, what are you worried about?
We don't want anyone trying to impress the new girl by being indiscreet.
Well, we're a little more sophisticated down here. Perhaps in Newcastle, courtship involves whooping and baring your bottom.
Hey.
Excuse me, but is this Hut 33?
Rather.
Gordon, stand up when a lady enters the room.
Hello. You're lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Can I touch your hair?
Gordon. Control yourself. It's completely inappropriate to touch a colleague's hair, even if it would slip through your fingers like strands of golden flax.
I'm Nancy, by the way.
Of course you are. Don't mind these two. Gordon's a 17-year-old trapped in the body of a 16-year-old. Archie is from Newcastle. Just be grateful he's not doing his bare-bottom mating dance.
And this is Charles, a stuck-up professor who rejected me from Oxford because I'm from the north.
Now, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
I rejected you because you don't know how to use a fish knife. Because you came from the north.
Right. And who's that in the suit of armour?
But that's Winstanley.
Hello? Is he waving or indicating he needs the toilet?
We're not sure.
We think he might have a series of pipes.
Well, this seems quite a place. I'm really excited we're all going to be working together really closely.
Gosh.
Now, hang on. What's going on here? Unauthorised entry? Who are you?
I'm Nancy.
Impossible. Nancy's a chap.
This is 3rd Lieutenant Joshua Fanshawe Marshall.
Oh? Are you related to General Crusher Fanshawe Marshall?
The man who insisted his tanks had no reverse gear or brakes. As General Crusher puts it, retreating is for homosexualists.
Yes, I read about that. He advanced into the Low Countries, went straight past Hamburg and out into Denmark.
Still, it brought Denmark into the war.
Yes, but on the wrong side.
That's Peter. Anyway, unless you can prove your identity, you'll have to leave.
Josh, this really is Nancy, and she really is a woman.
That's right. I'm all woman.
I think I'm going to have to go somewhere else now.
Listen, Nancy, we're expecting a chap, so unless you understand the offside rule, I can't let you continue.
The offside rule? As in, there must be one defender between the attacker and the goal, excluding the keeper?
Oh, then you are a man. Well done. Good disguise. Clever. Fill him in, Archie.
Is he all right? You know, in the head?
No. Now, let me tell you about these numbers we're working on.
After I've taken you for lunch. Shall we?
Oh, thank you.
Have another glass of claret.
Is it normal to have wine with lunch?
Absolutely. Nancy, join me in a votive offering to Bacchus.
Is that another one of your Greek boyfriends?
Archie, how thoughtful of you to join us.
Well, I thought you might want some apple crumble.
Thank you, but no. I really have to watch my figure.
You leave watching your figure to me.
Yeah. I was going to say that.
Oh, bad luck.
I was also going to say your presence is required in HUD 12.
No, it isn't.
Oh, yes, it is. They asked for the most brilliant expert in linguistics at Bletchley.
Yes, but as you can see, Nancy and I...
I told them as lives are at stake, you'd leave the dinner immediately without further discussion. Alone at last.
Now, Archie, while we're alone, tell me about these numbers I've got to work on. Exactly what are they about?
I'm really sorry, but I cannot tell you much. You know, security's pretty tight.
Oh, that's a shame. I just feel I could do my job so much better if I knew the context. I mean, trying to find patterns in numbers without the context is like, well, sleeping with a man if you don't know anything about him. Like where he comes from or anything about his parents.
I come from Newcastle and my parents are called Mickey and Sue.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
All right, Josh, what'll it be?
Nothing. I was just wondering if you'd seen my satchel.
What's it look like?
Well, it's brown, leather, and it's got a logo embossed on it. It was put on by the chaps in the regiment. They said it was to remember what was more powerful than the sword.
So your bag displays the words, "The pen is."
Yes. They couldn't afford the space between pen and is.
I see.
Mrs. Best, a pint of gin, please.
Oh, sorry, Minka, we don't sell gin in pints in this country.
Okay, 2 pints of gin.
Everything all right, Minka?
This new lady in hat, I don't like her. She flirts with Gordon.
But you don't even fancy Gordon.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But I no want him with other woman. I want Gordon as pet. Like back in Poland, I had pet.
Oh, what did you have?
Black bear. I loved that bear. Very sad day when I strangle him for being Nazi collaborator.
How do you know your bear was a Nazi?
He had look in his eye which said, I am Nazi bear.
This is the pub where we spend much of our time off.
Oh, does it have rooms? My billet's fallen through and I've got nowhere to stay.
Mrs. B, got a room for Nancy?
Be very careful, Mrs. B. I see a look in her eye, like traitor bear.
Oh, hello, Minka. By the way, I love your shoes. Where'd you get them?
Ah, thank you. They're from my homeland, Poland, and you know men never say a word.
I know what it's like.
So, Nancy, are you bunking down with one of the other chaps?
Nancy, I would gladly give up my bed for you.
Oh, thank you, Archie.
Excuse me, but I think she'd prefer my room. It's bigger, south-facing.
And it comes with a couple of Greek blokes.
Nancy, you have Archie's room. Archie, you have Charles's room. Charles, I've got the perfect place for you.
I have to insist that you lie there without moving. Any bodily contact would be extremely inappropriate.
Shut up. This is my bed now.
No, it isn't. You offered yours to Nancy.
I may not have gone to your posh borstal like you, but I can be a gentleman. It was a decent thing to do.
And only so that you could do indecent things with her sooner or later.
Oh, so you think I'm cracking on to Nancy? Well, she's a colleague. I'm a bit more professional than that.
You were putty in her hands when she fluttered her eyelids at you. You surrendered like a Frenchman at the sight of a sharp object.
She's not even my type.
Oh, you mean southern, clean, and able to form coherent sentences?
Shut up.
I dread to think what Josh will say.
Well, he doesn't need to know.
No, but I might tell him anyway. And he might tell Colonel Standring, who might take action against such indiscretion. Unless I can have this bed all to myself.
Compromise. You get the bed and the blankets, I get the floor and the pillow.
Give it back.
Hang on. Hey, what's this underneath?
Nothing, just a piece of paper.
Confidential?
No, give it to me.
Yeah, this is from the hut. And you've written a poem on the back of it.
I know that looks unprofessional, but...
I should have known. You, writing poetry?
Well, I'm a professor of linguistics. It's hardly deviant behaviour. Now, give it back.
Let's have a little look. Oh, it's about a certain lady who's just arrived in the hut.
Oh, just some lines that occurred to me.
You've rhymed Nancy and fancy. Good job you wrote that down, eh?
Look, it's an internal rhyme. It doesn't carry the same weight.
Tell you what, I've got a poem for you. There once was a fathead named Charles who lusted after a girl half his age. He took some paper out of the hut, got reported, was court-martialed and spent the next 2 years in a military prison avoiding the showers. Sorry it doesn't rhyme, but I went for realism.
Do you know, I think my back could do with a night on a hard floor.
Do you now?
Morning, Gordon. I didn't see you at breakfast.
I can't talk to you.
It's not all this silly Billy security stuff, is it?
No, it's Minka. She's very jealous of you and me. Not that there is a you and me. It's technically possible, but according to the laws of probability, it's highly improbable. And if you look here, I've expressed it as a series of equations.
I bet you do that with all the girls.
I do, actually.
But how can Minka be jealous when she's not even going out with you?
She said she wants me like a pet. In fact, she said I could be her new bear, which sounds affectionate.
But she can't begrudge us working closely together.
I think you'd be surprised at Minka's grudges.
Hello.
Minka, how do you do that?
Minka, I like your... Oh, you're not wearing shoes.
That is how I sneak.
Minka, nothing's going on, I promise.
Be careful. I watch you like heck.
You mean hawk?
I know what I mean.
Oh, here's everyone else. Safety in numbers.
Morning, Charles, Archie, Josh.
Nancy, Colonel Standring wants to see you right away.
Oh, I'll see you boys later.
See you.
Now, do I have everyone's attention? Winstanley?
I think his armour's rusted up after the rain last night. In fact, is he in there?
I think he's nodding inside.
Now, Hut 33, I have some very grave news.
Don't tell me. The Allies have lost their Scarecrow and Tin Man.
Oh, I hope not. That would be a disaster. There's been a leak.
I think that's what's caused the rust.
No, not that sort of leak. A security leak. Information's sketchy at the moment, but MI6 have recovered papers from outside Bletchley that came from this hut. You all know the rules.
Tell that to Charles. He's the one who takes papers out of here.
Charles.
Archie, I gave you my bed.
That isn't how it sounds.
Hang on, Archie. The papers were found on a train heading to Edinburgh.
So what?
Via Newcastle.
You cannot think I'm a spy. You don't even speak a word of German.
You can barely speak a word of English.
Yes.
Ah, Minka, you've read the memo, so you'll know there's been a security leak. The Colonel wants me to find the traitor.
Oh, you think it's me? Well, you'll never take me alive.
No, not you, Minka.
Oh,
Where do you keep that gun?
secret place.
Anyway, our lead suspect is Charles.
Well, he is big dog fascist. Okay, bring him in and make him kneel on ground. No, better still. Give him spade and we go for a little walk in forest.
No. I think that might cause a few complaints.
The dead do not complain.
So I need your help. I'm no expert in interrogation, never covered it at Sandhurst. I had to take an extra class in marching in straight lines. So I need to interrogate Charles and Archie.
I'm very persuasive interrogator.
Oh, are they hammers?
3 hammers. Toffee hammer on pressure point. Bang, bang, chatty chat.
Right. What about the next one up?
I don't know. Never had to use medium. I can be very persuasive with toffee hammer.
What about the large one?
That is just for show.
Right.
So, it's hammer time.
This is against all proper procedures, Josh. You cannot just tie us up in the coal shed.
I wish there was some other way, but...
Okay, so we begin with the toffee hammer.
Yeah, hang on there, Minka. We need to interrogate him thoroughly first. Archie, have you been giving secrets to the Nazis?
No!
Okay, well... I'm out of questions. Over to you, Minka.
Oh, goody.
Well, I think you'll find I can cope with some pain. Look at that hammer. It's a pathetic little thing.
Okay, I just make little bang on this small cluster of nerves.
See? I've been to the school of hard knocks.
You wait a moment.
Ow. It's ha.
Oh! And it begins. Now, tell me, when did you become a fascist?
Charles is the fascist. His tennis partner's Oswald Mosley.
When did you take train to Newcastle?
Happened in the last 3 months.
Bigger hammer.
No! Nancy, what you doing?
Oh, Archie, what have they done to you?
Oh, I'll be all right when I get sensation back in me feet and fingers and all down the left side of me body.
Well, come here, you brave soldier.
Oh, it was nothing.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, what were you doing rifling around Charles's desk?
Well, he said I could do some of his translation work for him.
Oh, that figures. I didn't know you spoke German.
Oh, yes. Are you surprised by my foreign tongue?
No. Well, you're not meant to be looking at his papers.
Oh, I see. Does that mean I've been bad?
Yup. Technically, it does, yeah.
Does that mean you'll have to punish me?
What?
Maybe if you meet me in the coal shed at midnight, you can put me over your knee.
And I'm getting some sensation back.
Stop hitting me! You haven't asked me a question yet.
Oh, yes, I forget. Problem is pain first, question later. Sometimes we not bother with questions.
So, Charles, have you been taking papers out of the hut?
Yes, but only that one, to write that poem.
You lie! Time for more wacky whack.
No, please, no!
You want bigger hammer?
No.
Say hello to Mr. Middlehammer. He not so friendly as Mr. Toffeehammer.
No!
There's something you not tell us. Big secret!
Okay, I've never told anyone this before, but I was in Sarajevo in 1914 studying Serbo-Croat. I became friends with a chap called Gavrilo Princip, but I didn't know he was actually serious about killing Archduke Ferdinand.
So you're saying you started World War I?
I just happened to point out, hypothetically, where the best line of sight was for a passing car. That is my big secret. But it doesn't make me a Nazi.
Right.
And I'm sorry to say Charles is clean, but I do have my suspicions about Nancy.
Him? Oh, I'm sure he's clean. Even if he does insist on keeping that ridiculous disguise on.
And I suspect Mrs. Best. She sleep with enemy.
Practically entire brigade during the last war.
Best way to catch woman like Mrs. B is honey trap.
Yes, but who on earth are we going to... Oh, no. No, there's no way I'm going to... Ah, Mrs. Best, you're looking ravishing this evening.
Oh, thank you, Charles. You're up late. Can't face another night in the sack with Archie.
Actually, I was thinking about taking you up on your offer from yesterday.
Oh, Professor, teach me some linguistics.
Yes, I've misjudged you, Mrs. Best. Why don't we sit and talk for a while?
Oh, what is it about, man? Always want to talk.
Would you mind just keeping your blouse on for now, thank you?
Had this trouble with Goebbels.
What, you slept with Goebbels?
30 years ago, when I was in Berlin during the last war. Talk about pompous. He was the only man I knew who shouted his own name during sex.
Please, Mrs. Best, goodness me, you can undress remarkably quickly.
Just practice.
Do you still correspond with Goebbels?
Of course not. There is a war on.
And have you slept with any other high-ranking Nazis?
I did go to this party in Nuremberg that got a bit out of hand.
Yes, I think I get the idea.
Now, come on, Charles. Time for some action. This kitchen table's pretty sturdy. And I know for a fact it supports the weight of at least 2 people.
Please, Mrs. Best, No, I'm sorry, I can't do it like this.
Well, let's go upstairs. Unless you'd rather go into a barn or something. I do know a place.
No, Mrs. Best, I'm a honey trap.
Oh, there's an idea. Pass the honey.
Please, I'm trying to tell you that I've been told to sleep with you to find out if you're a spy.
Well, of course you have. But I'm not proud. And it still counts.
They're getting me to do some of their dirty work.
You want to be able to tell him you tried, don't you?
Well, I'm pretty convinced you're not a spy.
Let's be on the safe side. Come on. Trousers off.
Oh, really? Please, get off. No, the moment's gone.
Just popping out for... Oh, my word, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. We weren't doing anything. More's the pity.
Mrs. B, this will be the point where you cover your modesty.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Where are you going?
Just out. I promised I'd give Nancy a hand with some mathematics.
But I'm meant to be meeting her at midnight.
What for?
Well, she was interested in my Catholic faith, and she wanted to play nuns and abbots.
Oh, I see.
Excuse me, has anyone got a medical dictionary?
Everything all right, Gordon?
Nancy wants to play doctors and nurses and...
So all three of you are off to see Nancy? Blimey. I thought I was broad-minded.
Hello? Minka? You there? It's Stanley. You found the oil, then? Well, actually, I was expecting to see Nancy. He said he wanted me to check his uniform, something about his bra size being too small. Oh, Charles, Archie, Gordon.
Looks like we've been made a fool of. Not that you need any help, Josh.
Nancy arranged to see all of us at midnight.
I don't understand.
Well, that goes without saying.
Let's hold it there, shall we?
Nancy, oh, what are you doing with that gun?
She's pointing it at us, Josh.
Ah, yes, I learnt about that at Sandhurst.
Now, be careful, Nancy. That gun might go off in your pretty little hand.
Well, shut up, Charles. Although you were the only one who didn't tell me any code-breaking secrets.
Well, I was waiting to see you in a wimple.
You misogynistic pig.
You tell him, Nancy.
And you can shut up too, Archie. I didn't even have to sleep with you to get any information.
You mean you would have done?
Yes.
I don't believe it.
The only one who made me go that far was Winstanley, but I couldn't get his armour off.
Nancy! Nancy, I can't believe you're a spy.
Well, the game's up, so come quietly.
No. Firstly, I'm the one with a gun.
Mm-hmm, yes.
And secondly, I'm a British spy.
A British spy? Ridiculous. I'll be saying you really are a woman next.
Is this some kind of act? Because I can't believe somebody could be this stupid and still be alive.
You get used to it.
Look, I've been sent here to find out who left this bag of highly confidential papers on a train heading for Newcastle.
Oh, look, there's my bag.
Does that say what I think it does?
I think it's meant to say, the pen is.
Yes, yes. Apparently the chaps in the regiment said they didn't have enough money to put the space in.
Josh. Josh, you must have left it on the train when coming back from London.
What about the documents? You're not meant to take them out of the hut.
I needed them for a meeting about security at the ministry.
So thanks to your incompetence, I got strapped to a chair and tortured with a toffee hammer.
And I was forced to try and seduce Mrs. Best and confess to starting World War I.
And I just bought a 3-volume medical dictionary.
Well, Josh's incompetence is the most plausible explanation.
The thing is, Josh, we'd all like to believe you're innocent, but we'd just like to be sure.
You need my hammers?
Minka, glad you're here. I think we'll start with Mr. Medium.
Ooh, wacky wack.
Hut 33 starred Robert Bathurst, Tom Goodman Hill, Olivia Colman, Fergus Craig, Lil Ruffley, Alex McQueen and Miranda Racing. It was written by James Carey and the producer was Adam Bromley.
Private Barry Trigger, it's nearly time for you to jump out of the plane so you can find Hitler, pin him down, and give him a damn good talking to. Have you got your parachute?
Right here. Oh, hang about. That's me sandwiches.
Look, it's Berlin.
Oops, this is my stop. All change, please. Oh, lummy, it's a long way down.
Excuse me, Private Tricker. I think I'm feeling a little queer.
It's Navigator Stubb.
It's a bit drafty.
Is it me or is it hot in here?
Mrs. Mabel! What are you doing on this plane?
Well, I was giving it a good clean and it just took off. Then the floor opened beneath me feet and me Hoover fell through.
Now come on, Tricker, jump!
It's now or never. It ain't right, rascals. Geronimo!
Barry Tricker's Friday Feeling starred Barry Tricker, John Tenby, Hattie Fay and Roger Wells. The producer was Piers Herbert Jones.
Another classic episode. Barry Tricker's a genius.
Oh, I've got a lot of respect for Tricker. He played a working men's club in Baker. First comedian from south of Gateshead not to be shooed off.
You mean booed off?
No, if people didn't like the act, they'd just throw the shoes.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I have to go and write down all my favourite jokes.
But there was only one funny thing about the show.
What do you mean?
Well, I just presume that the big joke is that Barry Tricker is working class.
Being working class isn't funny.
Au contraire. The working class are a constant source of amusement for me, with their funny little shoes and cloth caps.
Well, the audience were laughing.
Oh, no. You don't think the audience were working class as well? Dear, oh dear, the BBC have really let standards slip. They'll let anyone in these days.
Well, I know you'd rather have your news delivered by a butler, but some of us are happy with the radio.
Worst of all, I taught the producer at Oxford. What a waste of an education.
Right, bar's open.
A glass of your finest whiskey, which isn't saying much.
You're not getting anything till you paid off your tab. I do take payment in kind, by the way.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit short this month.
Well, size isn't everything.
No, I mean financially.
But your family are loaded.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we own some land north of the border. You know Scotland?
Yeah.
Mainly that.
Oh, so does that mean you got a kilt? I like a man in a kilt. Saves time.
My family have just been saddled with an enormous tax bill. It's outrageous. I mean, they know we've got an exemption.
You've got a tax exemption? That is outrageous.
Exactly. We won that exemption fair and square in a game of cards with George IV. My great-gramps had 3 aces. Bad luck, Georgie boy.
Well, so sorry, this war's going to cost you money. What are you going to do? Sell the Orkneys?
At the Strand, actually. But I got no cash till the funds clear.
Well, no more drinks for you, Charles. Unless you want to show me your sporran.
Gordon, any luck cracking these intercepts?
No. Who'd have thought the Italian Navy would have such good code security?
Hang on, chaps. Let's just think about this logically.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, think about it logically. Yeah. Up till now, I'd been using a chimp and a dartboard.
Look, we know that Italian is a language which repeats a lot of letters, double L's, double T's and so forth, as in tagliatelle and spaghetti.
All right, yeah. Let's just hope they're sending each other encrypted recipes.
Mind you, they do take their food very seriously.
Of course. There they are on the Adriatic, fighting for their lives against the British Navy of the Med, and they're spending all their time swapping recipes for mushroom risotto.
Ooh, risotto, double T.
Shut up.
Have you got any better ideas?
What about Mussolini?
Oh, charming man when you got to know him.
No, in the naval codes, with the double S, his name is... Oh, hang on. Charles, do you know Mussolini?
Well, I don't know if you can really know someone after a fortnight in Tuscany.
Unbelievable.
Now, Hot 33, how are things going? Re the Italians?
Slowly. I tell you, their Navy are putting up a fair old fight.
Well, you can't run away on a boat.
Actually, I was referring to the football match next week. Hut 33 versus the Italian POWs up the road. Come on, men.
Oh, we're so sorry. We've been wasting all this time trying to actually win the war.
Well, if those fascists stop us from playing football, that just means they've won.
No. If they win the war, they've won. And they are winning.
Now, please, if we're going to talk about the sport of the people, and I mean that in a bad way, can we please use the correct term, association football?
It is football. The original version before you inbred public schoolboys added your scrums and rucks. Honestly, it's just an excuse for public humping.
No, Rugby is a sophisticated game. When William Webb Ellis picked up that football and ran with it, that moment was a turning point of human evolution.
So, Charles, did you never play football at Bradlow?
Oh, to be vulgar. We played Eton Fives.
Is that the game with the biscuit?
No, it's like squash, but you use your hands. In my youth, I was ranked number 9 in the country.
Really?
Not that impressive. Only 10 people in the country know the rules.
12, actually. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need some fresh air. Feeling rather queasy.
Oh, Charles. Hope it's something serious.
No, it's just all this talk of association football.
Josh, how come we're playing the Italians? I thought we had to keep ourselves to ourselves.
Well, the Italians don't know what we do.
Let's be honest, you don't know what we do.
Exactly. But I do know a fair bit about morale, and now that inter-hut sporting tournaments have been banned after the incident in the cricket match...
In Minka's defence, they don't play cricket in Poland. How was she meant to know that the bat's for hitting a ball?
Round about the time Johnson screamed, "Stop hitting me with the bat. Oh, God, please stop."
It's no way to treat a teammate.
Again, how was she meant to know who's playing who if everyone wears white?
Cricket is stupid game.
Duncan, please, stop doing that.
When Nazis steal your country, you'll learn to move quiet as a house.
You mean mouse?
You ever hear a house move?
Fair point.
Hello, Minka. You look nice.
Of course I do.
Minka, you only good at football?
Archie, Minka's banned from sporting contests, at least until Penrose in Hut 4 gets back the use of his arms.
It no matter. Italian POWs very good at football, not so good at war. They are naturally very fit, athletic, lean, muscular.
Oh, so have you been going up there to visit?
Oh, yes. Me and Fabio listen to my gramophone.
Hang on. I'd have thought you'd hate the Italians. They're on Germany's side.
Rossini, Puccini, Verdi, the music is so beautiful. We listen to opera about women who fall in love with men, discover he unfaithful, and in her love, she kill him and love her. And then herself. All dead. So romantic.
Archie, could you explain something to me?
Is it about where babies come from?
It is, actually.
Okay,
No, I know sort of generally how it works and all that, but I was just in the newsagents buying my Radio Times. There's a special section on Barry Tricker.
Oh, aye.
And Vera, who works there, has just had a baby, and she's not married. That's impossible, isn't it? That's what Mummy told me.
Oh, Gordon, bless.
Must have been one of the Bletchley boys. That's 1-0 for the home team.
Oh, yes. Vera, pale, ginger, gives birth to an olive-skinned, black-haired boy and calls him Lorenzo.
You don't mean...
I don't have to explain this to you as well, do I? Now, I can write it down for you or give you a practical demonstration.
Actually, some diagrams would help.
They've been having it away with the Italian POWs.
But all the local totty have been telling us they're saving themselves for Mr. Right.
Well, they have. If by Mr. Right you mean 6'3" of prime Italian beef that answers to the name Massimo.
Yeah, all right, I get the idea. Oh, we're going to give these POWs such a whipping on the football pitch.
Yeah, we're going to play football really well.
Come off it. You Bletchley boys aren't exactly outdoor types.
I beg your pardon?
Well, here you are doing whatever you're doing. What is it again?
Government statistics.
Exactly. What are you going to do? Count them to death?
Mrs. B, could I have a half bitter and a triple scotch?
Drown in your sorrows?
Actually, the scotch is for Charles.
He's got you buying his drinks.
No, fair's fair. He bet me a drink that I can't speak Albanian. And he was right. I can't.
I'm not sure you've got the hang of this betting business.
Really? Well, at Sandhurst, I was always very good at it. They taught me this game called It's My Round. You play it in a pub like this one. All the sort of players stand by the bar just like this, and the first one to shout, "It's my round," wins.
Fancy a game? Just for old time's sake?
Oh, go on then. It's my round.
Thanks very much. I'll have a pint of bitter, please.
Lemon and lime, please.
Josh, any sign of that scotch?
Charles, I'm drawing up the team for the football, but I'm sad to say the pitch isn't wide enough for your position on the far right.
I'm not going to play in your vulgar match. It's a well-known fact you can catch TB from a football.
So, Archie, when do we start training? I hope you've put me down for scrum half.
This is association football.
Oh, yes, sorry. No, I'll be flanker.
Good, I'll put you down for something like that.
Does that say flanker?
Very nearly. Remember, training 6 o'clock tonight, PM.
PM?
That's the one when it gets dark.
With you.
Archie, please can I play? It'll just make me feel better about fighting the Italians since we're completely unable to break their codes.
Their codes?
Gordon?
Oops, sorry. At Bletchley Park, we don't break codes. We do, government statistics for,
Supplies and munitions.
Yes, that's it. Sorry.
Hut 33, attention. You all are in a lot of trouble.
Gordon?
I said sorry.
No, Gordon, don't say anything. As my father used to tell me, saying sorry is only one step away from kissing a man.
I'd take this man's advice with a little pinch of salt. You know, this is General Crusher Fanshawe Marshall we're talking about here. The same man that made an entire parachute regiment jump without parachutes.
Why on earth did he do that?
As General Crusher puts it, parachutes are for girls.
That's Peter. Ah, Captain Bracken. We're all ready for our security briefing.
Thank you, Third Lieutenant. I'm Captain Bracken. What he didn't tell you was that I'm the Olympic 400-metre champion and hold the Nobel Prize for Literature.
Wow.
That is, of course, a lie.
Oh.
I officially work for the Ministry of Meat Products.
Ministry of Meat Products?
It's where we manufacture the government's porky pies. Obviously, we couldn't be called the Ministry of Disinformation, or people would suspect, so we're the Ministry of Meat Products. In fact, the building is designed to look like a giant Cornish pasty.
Really?
Again, the power of disinformation.
Right.
But it's that level of barefaced whopper spinning that we need for each and every one of you. So, you should be telling people that Bletchley assesses government statistics.
Right. Do I need an O-level in maths?
No, Josh, this is all just a cover story.
Righto.
Do you all understand?
Yes?
Aye?
Yes?
No. Can I sit down for a moment? Just me and my thoughts.
So, just you then.
Now, I hope you've all been working on your own personal cover stories, Archie.
I'm Archie, and I look at the logistical efficiency of the railways.
I'm Gordon, and I look at munitions transportation safety.
I'm Charles, and picture, if you will, an office. To a casual eye, it appears nothing more than a workplace of a simple functionary, a mere cog in the great machine of war. But wait, your eye is drawn to an inkwell. Is that a fountain pen resting gently in the shapely hand of an unrecognized linguistic genius? The hand itself has an air of greatness, even in the dappled light
Yes,
that
I think
tumbles.
we get the idea.
Well, it is a mere prologue. It builds to a compelling portrait.
Of a complete arse.
Archie! Language!
Captain Bracken, I'd welcome any critique on character development.
You're an arse. Always have been, always will be. If they made a statue for you, it would just be a huge bronze arse.
It would certainly be a talking point. Now, Josh, what cover story have you prepared?
I've been working on this for some time now. My name is Mr. Tibbles, and I like to keep things clean.
Are you pretending to be a cat?
Well, no one would suspect a cat.
Josh, I'm not quite sure you've grasped this.
Well, I've got a ball of wool.
Yes, we've all tried passing ourselves off as animals.
You what?
I spent a torrid 3 months in occupied France disguised as an otter. Had endless problems with water in my radio.
Really?
Again, the power of disinformation.
Oh, before I forget, I just wanted to let you know I've ordered football jerseys for the match.
Where from?
Where do you think? Jersey.
Josh, it doesn't work like that. Jerseys don't actually come from Jersey.
Oh, but I wrote a nice long letter to the people in Jersey explaining exactly who we are and what we're trying to do here at Bletchley.
You do realise that Jersey is occupied by the Nazis?
Is it?
Very good. Yeah, really had me going there.
He's not joking.
Right. I think we may have to intercept some mail. Josh, you need to come with me.
Righto.
Evening, Archie. What can I get you?
4 pints of bitter, 3 pints of best, and 6 whiskey chasers.
Oh, big round for your football team?
No, just for me.
Our training didn't go very well.
We're going to get thrashed and humiliated in front of the girls of Bletchley.
Remember, Archie, my door is always open.
About that, does it have to be open when you're having a bath?
Bathing with a friend helps the war effort.
How?
Must do, somehow.
This is our chance to prove to everyone that we're not a bunch of stay-at-home Nancy boys.
Oh dear, Archie. Trouble at Mill?
If you must know, our goalkeeper got panic attacks, our centre-half went off with a stitch, and our left wing is agoraphobic and keeps hiding in the changing rooms.
Josh did all right.
Yeah, well, once he remembered you cannot pick up the ball and run with it.
So wouldn't he be better in goal?
Well, I managed to get him back in character as a cat, so he became good at chasing the ball.
I did okay, didn't I?
You'll be fine, Gordon. Just remember, when someone passes you the ball, don't scream.
Right.
We're going to be a laughing stock.
Not necessarily. There's a point where tragedy stops being funny and just becomes tragedy again.
Well, thank you for your support.
Where is fighting spirit? You must destroy Italians, they fascist pig dogs.
You changed your tune.
I thought Fabio only want me for my body. Turns out he want me for my gramophone and big bottle of olive oil. I feel so used.
Olive oil? Have they got cooking facilities?
Oh, yes. Last week he make me good tiramisu to die for, so we'll kill him.
Well, Minka, I appreciate your kind offer to exterminate the opposition, but we do want to win fair and square.
I'm not allowed to play, but I can train.
Great.
I can also derail train.
Less useful on the football pitch.
I give you full Polish resistance training. We start tomorrow before shift, 5 a.m.
Ah, evening, chaps. Anyone fancy a drink?
That's very kind of you.
Actually, Charles, I've got your bottle of dry sherry.
Ah, thank you.
Josh, you haven't lost another bet, have you?
On the contrary. Charles bet me tuppence I couldn't find him a bottle of dry special reserve sherry. And I could, so I win.
Absolutely. Yes, you've got me there, Josh. There's your tuppence.
Thank you.
Josh, could I have a word with you in private?
Don't worry, we're turning in. Training tomorrow, Josh, 5 a.m.
Righto, just before tea, then?
No, a.m. That's when it starts dark and gets lighter.
With you. Good night.
Good night.
Now, Josh, I just wondered how you fancied Hut 33's chances on the football pitch.
Oh, Hut 33 is certain of victory.
Yes, I thought you'd say that.
Well, we kept telling this to Robinson as he hid in the changing room.
Fancy a wager?
Rather. Shall we say £10 on Hut 33 to beat the Italians?
£10?
All right, 20. But I've heard about this thing called odds, so I want 4 to 1.
Do you know what that means?
No.
It means if Hut 33 win, I give you £80 and your original stake.
What, I get a juicy steak as well? This gets better and better.
Except 4 to 1 is too much, especially in a 2-horse race.
We're playing football on horses?
No.
Oh, I see, they're horse stakes. Still, there is a war on.
No.
In that case, £50.
I think you're confusing gambling with haggling.
Am I?
And you're going in the wrong direction. Let's say £50 at 2 to 1 on a Bletchley win.
You're on. I'm already looking forward to that juicy steak.
Good.
Good news, Hut 33. Archie's got us a new trainer. For those of you who don't know her, she's called Minka. Questions? Yes, Robinson.
You're telling me our new trainer's a girl?
Biologically, yes.
Aesthetically, yes.
In all other respects, she's about as female as Hermann Goering.
Does she even know anything about football?
Robinson, shut up. She might hear you.
What do you mean? She's not even here.
She's an expert at...
Creeping up on you.
Told you.
I am Minka. I in charge of team fitness. I give you full Polish resistance drill. Later we practice booby-trapping geese. But for now we all run.
How long for?
1 hour, maybe 2.
What happens if we stop?
Do not stop. Run, now! Okay, stopping running now.
I feel sick.
Please kill me quickly.
This is just like being back at Sandhurst. Chaps in the regiment used to play this game with me called Run. Sometimes it went on for days.
Did we have to crawl under every single barbed wire fence?
Yes. Later, I teach you how to kill Nazi soldier with paperclip and bicycle pump.
Handy?
You will now be silent as I give inspiring speech to help you defeat Italian fascist pig dog. Italians are fascist pig dogs. Okay, now we run home.
Mrs. Best? Mrs. Best? I'd like to settle up my tab.
At last.
No, please, just leave your blouse on, would you?
Don't be shy. Trousers off.
No, I have money.
There's no charge.
No, I mean, I have money to settle my tab.
Oh.
I got it off Josh on a rather foolish bet. Why are you carrying binoculars?
Oh, just watching the Italians train. Bit of window shopping can't hurt. They're so naturally graceful.
All in the language, isn't it?
And the names. I met this Italian in Padua before the last war. Eugenio Maria Giuseppe Giovanni Pacelli. Everyone called him Father Eugene. I called him Sloppy Giuseppe.
Oh, you didn't?
Well, why not?
Well, firstly, it's not strictly allowed for Catholic priests.
Well, I suppose that's why he's never kept in touch.
And secondly, he's now Pope Pius XII.
Well, that doesn't mean he can't send me a Christmas card.
Oh, I think it does. So, you'll be watching the match tomorrow?
Oh, yes. Should be a good contest.
Yes, rather like David and Goliath. Except David's forgotten his catapult, and Goliath has brought along his 3 larger brothers.
What do you mean?
Hut 33 are going to be slaughtered. I've taken money on it.
I think you'll be surprised at the effect of Minka's training.
I've seen the effect of Minka's training. The branch line is now suspended till they've rebuilt that signal box.
Gordon's looking very useful in goal. He's like a coiled spring.
Really?
All that pent-up sexual energy, I reckon.
Oh, really?
The smart money's on your lot.
Is it? Well, that's good, isn't it?
Now, about that tab.
I might just hold on to this cash for now, thank you.
Well, you've got till tomorrow night to pay up in hard currency or hard...
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Best, I understand.
Hi.
Gordon, I hear you're turning into quite a fine goalkeeper.
Oh, it's easy. You just work out the exact speed and trajectory and do some basic mental calculus.
It's just such a shame that the game clashes with Barry Tricker's Friday Feeling. You wouldn't want to miss that, would you?
Oh, there's no clash. It's not on till 8:30. Game will be over by then. Anyway, I thought you hated the show.
I do. And I told that to the producer when he called me this afternoon.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He telephoned to apologise to his former tutor for wasting his education at the BBC and for ruining civilization with his dreadful radio shambles. He even offered me tickets to change my mind.
Tickets?
But I wasn't interested in a backstage tour.
Uh-huh.
Or the chance to meet Barry personally and hear him say his catchphrase over and over again.
Oh.
And I certainly didn't want to touch Mrs. Marbles Hoover.
Charles, is there any chance I could have that ticket?
Do you know, that hadn't occurred to me. No, you can't. You'll miss the game. Unless, of course, I replaced you in goal.
But aren't you worried about catching TB from the football?
Oh, yes, that's a worry. But I'll wear my gas mask.
Thanks.
Mrs. B, can I use your phone? Need to make a fairly urgent call to the BBC. Captain Bracken, you refereeing the game?
For old time's sake, I refereed in an FA Cup final.
Really?
Again, the power of disinformation.
Right.
Here comes Hut 33.
Run!
Minka, we've got to stop. It's time for the game.
But I not teach you how to ambush Panzer tank with household chemicals.
That'll just have to wait.
Ambush! Quick! Positions!
Minka, it's the opposition.
You take driver, I throw grenade. Gordon ready with brain gun.
Calm down.
Oh, at least let me cut brake cable.
No. Hang on, where's Gordon?
He's done a Robinson and gone AWOL. But don't worry. For the sake of the hut, I will play the game of the street urchin.
You? Playing goal? You're wearing a tweed jacket.
Oh, hang, I'm not fully protected yet. Just need to put on this gas mask. Could you pass me those waders?
You're not fly fishing. You're catching football, not trout. Just stand in the goal.
Right.
Facing the other way.
Picky.
Can I have the captains, please?
It's only half-time and they're singing like they've won.
That's just rude.
Keep it down, will you? OK, Bletchley, let's get together. But I'll be honest, I'm disappointed to be 11-1 down. At least we scored one goal. Well done, Josh.
Oh, did I score one?
Remember that bit when you were standing by the goal and tried to catch the ball, and it hit your head and went into their goal?
Oh, yes. Is that why everyone cheered?
Did you see Minka get completely carried away by 6 military policemen?
Why was that?
She tried to beat one of their substitutes to death with a football rattle.
Can we return to the game in hand? I think our real problem is in goal.
Yes, sorry, team. I just can't seem to see the ball.
It's quite easy to spot. It's the thing that's been whistling past your ears for the last half hour.
Now, Archie, fair's fair. I'm sure Charles was just trying to be impartial because there's a lot at stake here. A stake for a start.
What do you mean? Shut up, Josh.
It's okay, Charles. You're a man of honour and you'll play to win, even if it will cost you £100.
You what?
I put £50 on Bletchley to win, at 2-1, because it's a two-horse race. Now, when will these horses be arriving, by the way?
Charles, are you sabotaging this game for money?
No. Well...
I cannot believe you'd sell out your hut mates for a few bob.
It's £100. You must understand it. It's not the principle. It's the money.
What the hell's going on next door? Look, you may be winning 11-1, but will you keep the noise down in here?
Where are they?
Looks like they've scarpered. Down that tunnel. Looks like they've slipped through using Minka's olive oil.
I can't believe it. They've escaped and forfeited the game.
You see, they're born cowards. Even when they're winning, they run away.
So how far did they get?
About 30 miles. But we can outrun them, thanks to Minka's ruthless training. So we're not the bunch of Nancy boys you think we are.
Oh, really?
Did you not see us running through the streets after those semi-naked, oiled-up Italians? Right, yeah, I see your point.
Now that's entertainment.
So, where the hell were you?
At a recording of Barry Tricker's radio show. I thought they made it up on the spot, but considering someone wrote it in advance, it's rubbish.
Charles, about your bar tab.
Josh, how about a game?
Ooh, rather.
This one's very simple. Think of a number.
4.
Oh, you were so close. I'm afraid that means you have to pay for my bar tab.
Oh, righto.
Hut 33 starred Robert Bathurst, Tom Goodman-Hill, Olivia Colman, Fergus Craig, Lil Ruffley, Alex McQueen and Stephen Kinman. It was written by James Carey. The producer was Adam Bromley.
Hut 33 by James Carey.
Now, pay attention, Hut 33. I've just been handed this message on the way here, and looks like no code I've ever seen before.
Josh, we cannot take any more work on.
And we can't work any harder, given our constant hunger. It's all right for Archie.
How's it all right for me?
Well, you're from the north. You're used to being hungry.
When the workers finally seize control of the means of production, yous are going to get such a slap.
Can we please return to the matter in hand? Now, this message looks fiendishly complex.
It's in English. You've got it upside down.
Aha! So, the Germans have finally decided to speak English. Well, that is good news.
And the message is from Colonel Standring.
You know, Standring was my head of house at Bradlow. It's funny he's a colonel now, because at school we used to call him Colonel Mustard.
Oh, because of his military manner?
No, because he made Baxter in the lower fourth eat a whole jar of mustard.
Typical misuse of bourgeois power.
Oh, please, not another ghastly Bolshevik rant. It's so 1917.
Well, I've got to keep the red flag flying. Now the government's seen fit to close down the Daily Worker, suspend habeas corpus.
Oh, that happened at my school.
What do you mean?
They suspended Quentin habeas corpus. I think he was one of the Gloucester habeas corpuses.
If you say so.
So what does this message from Standring say?
Hut 33 to help Hut 6 with German naval codes. U-boat threat critical, food supplies very low. Yes, that is true. At officers' breakfast there was much less smoked salmon than usual.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Gordon, you're late.
Sorry, but I had to pick up a food parcel.
Another food parcel here, comrade? Share the wealth.
Nonsense. It's all yours, Gordon. Property is not theft. You've every right to enjoy the delights of your mother's home baking. I say, is that shortbread?
Yes. All right, help yourself, everyone.
Oh, lovely. Oh, thank you.
Very good. Super.
I haven't had something this good since Minka caught that rabbit last week.
You like rabbits?
No, Minka, please, do not creep up on us like that.
I no creep, you deaf. When you have big dog enemy in your country, you'll learn to hear badger break wind from 600 yards.
Well, that must be a real boon.
It is why I catch you local animal for extra dinner.
Yes, and we're all very grateful, Minka, although I felt rather peaky after that rabbit the other day. In England, we tend not to eat the paws.
In fact, they're meant to bring good luck.
4 paws did not bring rabbit good luck.
Grabs up, everyone! Beef stew!
Yeah.
Good to hear that beef is back on the menu.
Hold your horses, there's no actual beef in the stew.
So what is it? Or is that why you said hold your horses?
There's a stock cube, some swede, a carrot, and did I mention the swede?
Yes.
Sorry, but I normally get a bit extra from the grocer, but he's gone off and joined the catering corps. And now his wife works the shop. So that's the end of the pork belly.
Mrs. Best, I am on the verge of starvation.
Tell you what, how about a slap-up dinner Friday?
Oh, yes.
Trouble is, now all the shops are run by women. My coupons aren't such good currency, if you know what I mean.
So, do you need my coupons?
His wife might need to see your whole ration book, if you follow my drift.
No.
Mrs. Best, are you pimping Gordon for food?
There is a war on, and you can't expect to go through a whole war without getting your end away.
Yes, that's bad form.
Exactly. So, this way, we get food and Gordon gets experience. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
I've seen Minka do that. She brought down 2 seagulls. Mind you, it was quite a large brick.
So how are things going with Minka?
Actually, can I invite her to this dinner?
Well, you can, but you'll need to see the grocer's wife and put something on the slate. By which I mean...
Yes, OK, I understand now.
Archie, there you are. Can I help you to a piece of beef?
Sorry I'm late. Been writing my election manifesto.
Oh, please don't tell me you're running for the president of the Bletchley Communist Society.
There is no president. It's called General Secretary.
Of course, like Stalin.
No.
Well, I think Stalin's pretty rotten doing that deal with Hitler.
He's only acting in the interest of the proletariat.
Oh, dear, you've read Das Kapital and suddenly you're an expert.
Well, at least I didn't help write Mein Kampf.
I did not help write Mein Kampf. I may have been in Wittenberg in the 1920s when a proof copy may have passed across my desk and I may have corrected some typos.
Come on, there's plenty more food in the pot.
I'm fine, thanks, Mrs. B.
So, Archie, what are your political ideas?
Policies that are reasonable, practical. The abolition of Parliament, replaced with a People's Palace.
Based in Newcastle?
No. Middlesbrough, actually. The Congress of Workers will be in Newcastle.
Don't tell me. Taxation at 99%?
Only for wages above 7 and 6. And a super tax for fascist Oxford dons of 140%.
Typical Marxist, dragging everyone down to your level.
Marxism is not about dragging people down. It's about everyone going up. If the workers had all the money, privilege and land of the elite...
The elite are the elite because we know how to handle money, land, cutlery.
Oh, really?
And we're natural orators. We can win crowds. If you need any tips for your speech, Archie, do let me know. I'm something of a natural.
You really think the elite are better at everything?
Broadly.
So you'd say you're, how can I put this, a master race?
Yes. No.
Did you put that bit into Mein Kampf?
Don't you need policies for Bletchley's communists? Both of them?
Hey, there's more than 2 of us. Our supporters are just keeping a low profile by...
not being communists.
And I do have one policy for Bletchley. No more special food for officers. Bad enough they get paid more, but to take food from the mouths of the workers, so I say, we smash the system.
Archie, the system does not need smashing. There's plenty of fine food here for all of us.
Charles, can I help you to seconds?
Well, honestly, Mrs. B, I couldn't eat another hoof.
Hut 33, situation report, please.
We're doing our best, Josh. We've been using these cribs, some Herevils and Banburys, to point to some specific correlations.
Right.
You have no idea what that means, do you?
No.
We haven't cracked the code.
With you.
We're going as fast as we can.
What's Charles there? Is he sleeping on the job?
Not again.
No, so what's going on?
You passed out again?
You can stop doing that. Sorry, Josh, I've been blacking out. I'm used to richer, more nourishing food than the meagre rations we receive.
Oh, you big Nancy.
Well, you're used to a dreadful diet. What do they eat in Newcastle? Coal? Each other?
Well, food's getting very low. Lost 8 more ships in the Atlantic, which is a tragic waste. One of those ships had cans of apple sauce for the officers' hog roast.
Josh, why do the officers eat separately? I mean, we're all on the same side, and I share my food with everyone.
No, it's quite straightforward. It's because there's a good reason.
Because, Gordon, officers are part of the elite.
Even Josh.
I'm an officer.
A 3rd lieutenant. A special rank created for you because your dad's a general, and they couldn't demote you any further after you drove a tank regiment into the sea.
It was a very foggy morning, and some water got into my compass.
Because you were in the sea.
Well, I think it's all a bit unfair.
Then I hope I can count on your support at the election tonight.
Yes, I think you can.
Gordon, no. Communism doesn't work. The masses need careful handling, like a border collie.
You're comparing the working masses to a dog.
It works as a metaphor. It's all in the handling. You need to teach both to obey firm instructions, or they just end up barking at the moon and licking their own testicles.
Charles, I thought I'd go along to watch Archie's election. Want to come?
No, I'd rather eat roadkill.
You've got to admit Archie's got a point.
Oh, that's your trouble, Gordon. You always agree with the last person who spoke to you.
I suppose that's true.
Any luck with a grocer, Gordon?
Mrs. Best, I haven't... I didn't want to. Don't make me do it with her. I want Minka to be the first.
Gordon, how am I meant to prepare a slap-up 3-course meal without ingredients?
You need meat?
Oh, Minka. I didn't see you there.
Old Polish saying, float like butterfly, sting like big rabid owl.
I think that saying needs a bit of work.
Hello, Minka. You're looking lovely today.
Yes. You want to try some samples? Now you try what I catch. All freshly cooked on engine of Jeep.
Allow me.
So you go out hunting for this? With a gun?
Sometimes crossbow, sometimes just brick.
It tastes like venison, but gamier, beefier.
Badger.
Badger?
Spit roast.
She roasts, you spit.
I also have rat, toad, and weasel.
Badger, rat, toad, and weasel? You trying to kill off Wind in the Willers?
It's very tasty. In Poland, it's great delicacy.
Weasel?
No, food.
I need a drink.
Now I go. Archie is about to speak to the communists.
I'm coming with you.
You mean you join revolution?
No, I know I said I'd rather eat roadkill. Turns out I wouldn't.
Minka, I didn't know you were a communist. I thought you hated the Soviets.
No, I hate Russians because they make pact with Nazis and steal my country. I hate Germans because they ravage my country. And I hate Swedes because they just do. They're very annoying and just do nothing and say, hey, look at my ball bearing factory, isn't it nice?
Shall we go?
And so I say to you, we need to collectivise farming. People say it's a chicken